have spirit guides assigned to us from birth. If you want to believe that, then I truly do. And we all have different guides throughout different stages in our life. We also have different guides that come in, and they're not always necessarily of the human nature. They can be from different dimensions. They can be interdimensional beings, and they are here to help you along your soul's growth journey. We're all here with a greater purpose, which is what I truly believe, and we are all here to evolve along our soul's journey. So these videos are really going to help you if you're new to spirituality, or if you're just getting kind of interested in it and you've not heard about the things that I'm talking about. Then stay tuned, and I'm sure you will learn something from this, because when I was starting out my spiritual journey, I was searching for this information, and it really helped me on my journey. And if you don't know me already, my name is Elise, and welcome to my channel, Living Intentionally with me, of course. And thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all your likes. It is a true pleasure to have you here, and I'm so happy to share all of this with you. So today we're going to jump straight in. We're talking about spirit guides. Who are they? What are they? And the 5 signs that they are trying to connect with you. So the first one, let's go straight in. The first one we're going to talk about is signs and synchronicities with numbers. So perhaps you see mirrored numbers, 1111, 2222. Perhaps you see mirrored numbers, so 14, 41, and they look the same, or double numbers, 14, 14. Numbers, you might be seeing the same time every day. You might see a number on a car. You might see a number or a sequence of numbers at the same time every day. For example, every day I see my birthday, 1104. Not every day, but I went through a period of my time, life, where I was seeing 1104 every single day, and I was thinking, that's my birthday. So you may also have numbers that you see every day, like 1111, and traditionally that's a manifesting number, so make a wish. When you see 1111, it's a great, powerful numbers. So why are numbers important? Well, in numerology, then, it explains that numbers are linked and connected to messages from the spiritual realm. So you might be seeing a particular number, and it may have a message for you from your spirit guides. They may want you to know something, so pay attention. And I think this is the interesting part, because we have to be aware of our thoughts. When the number shows up, what were we thinking at that time? What popped into our head? Was it a question? Was it a thought? Was it a memory? Who was it? Who were we thinking about when that message came up? And when you start to see numbers, you will start to look and understand more about what they mean, because each number is different and each message is different depending on the individual. So it's very interesting to perhaps have a notebook around to write them down and really pay attention to what was going through your mind when you saw that message. And sometimes if you're looking for confirmation as well, you may think to yourself, well, is this the right choice? Am I making the right decision? And then all of a sudden you'll see a number on, it could be anywhere. You'll see a number on, I don't know, I saw a number on the gym machine I was working on today. It was literally anywhere you can see numbers. So I was like, okay, well, that's my confirmation. Thank you very much. I appreciate your help. So if you are really tuned in and you know and you have this kind of interaction with your spirit guides, you can understand and pick things up, and it's just nice to know that we're not alone. We always being supported and we're always being guided. And another thing to note, when I was actually writing the material for this video, I happened to glance at the time and it was 15:55. And of course I was thinking, okay, well that's a pretty cool number. So I popped it into Google to see what it meant. Naturally, because I was curious, and the message here was, you are of an emotional and devoted nature, and you always have the desire to pass on and share your knowledge and experience with others. Of course, this makes you an extraordinary individual. Thank you very much. You dream of a better world, but you aren't just a dreamer. You're also the perfect partner in all areas of life. Google doesn't lie. So make sure that you are checking up what your numbers mean when you see them, because they could have an interesting message for you. And let me know in the comments if you see any of these repeated numbers. I'd love to know what kind of numbers you see. Okay, so number 2, we're going to discuss the second sign, which is feathers. You may see feathers in the most random places. You may see them when you step outside your door. You may see them on your jumper. You may see them, yes, you might say, okay, well, that's just a random thing. It's not. I'm here to tell you that your spirit guides and your angels and your loved ones on the other side are contacting you with messages, usually just a message of love, just to let you know that they're around. Sometimes they want to connect with you, and this is their sign that they are in fact trying to reach out and connect. So again, always think about what sort of mood you're in at the time when you see them. Are you going through something? Is there something on your mind? Is there a question that you have? They are letting you know that they are with you, they are here, and you can call on them anytime you want, anytime you need. And they are happy to connect with you. So I remember when my nan passed and my mum would see feathers everywhere. So that was just a sure sign that, you know, she's still around. She's not with us here in person, but she's definitely around sending messages, and we often see feathers around the house or in random places, like I said. And if you have any experiences, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear, or I would love to hear your experiences with the feathers. They are often connected with the angelic realm and our loved ones in spirit. So it's always beautiful to have messages from them. Moving on to number 3. Another way that your spirit team is trying to communicate with you is when random songs pop into your head. For example, you might wake up one morning and you have, I don't know, a random song in your head. It could be anything. It could be a song with a very, very important message for you. So even if you don't really know the lyrics, which happens to me on several occasions, I would go to Google and search up the lyrics, for example, and then you will find a very clear message. They don't mess around. And sometimes they do have a good sense of humor as well. So you might receive a funny message. For example, you may be going through a transition period in your life, and perhaps you need some encouragement or some guidance, and this song is going to be perfectly timed and going to help you figure out this kind of period in your life where you need a little extra support. And your guides will give it to you with a song. You might also receive, you may also have a song pop into your head at a random time in the day, or you might be thinking, where did that song come from? And then when you look at the lyrics, it's actually extremely relevant to your current life situation and what you're currently experiencing in your daily life. So that's just another simple way that your guides can try and reach out and connect to you and send you messages of support, usually love, usually some guidance, usually some direction. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of songs out there that have so many different meanings, and if one specific song pops into your head, then 100% sure it is a message from your team, and they are asking you to check that song and really pay attention to what it's saying in the lyrics, because it's going to have some meaning for you. And if this has ever happened to you, then go ahead and please share it with us. I'm always fascinated to hear these experiences that other people have. Moving on to number 4. So this is another way that our guides and our spirit team are trying to reach out and send us a message or connect with us or let us know that they're there. And that is through symbols such as animals. So we see these signs and symbols around. We've talked about numbers, we've talked about feathers. And so this one is one of my favorite ways that they try and reach out. It's just beautiful. So you may see like the same animal around, you may see the same, let's say, I've just seen a spider up in the corner. So spiders can represent, you know, hard work, they're working continuously, they're methodical, you know, there's symbols for the spider, and that would be something that you could look up if you keep seeing spiders around. It doesn't mean that, you know, they're trying to scare you or da-da-da. But if you start to see an animal that's not usually something that you see, then you may start to wonder, what is this message behind this animal? For example, recently when I decided to come back home for some time to do some studying and to attend a course, I had a big decision to make. And it was something that I had to really consider. So I had a difficult decision to make. Not difficult in the sense that should I go or should I stay? It was more like, if I go, is it going to be a success? Is it going to be worth my while? Is it going to be something that, because of course I wanted to do it, but I just wanted to know, or I had doubts, or I had uncertainties. And so on this particular day, before I left, I was going for a walk and I saw a cat in the bush. And then I went over and said hello to the cat, and it jumped up and came and said hello. And what I noticed was when he jumped out of that bush, I saw all of these tiny, not just one, I saw like 10 tiny grasshoppers. And they were so cute, they were so tiny. And I was thinking, oh, that's so beautiful. Like, how many are there in this bush? There's so many grasshoppers. So anyway, I said hello to the cat, I carried on my walk and went on with my day. The same day, in the evening, I planned to have a farewell dinner with my good friend, and coming out driving in the car, I went to turn the corner to exit where I live, and I'm not joking, a huge grasshopper landed on the windscreen. It was dark. It gave me a shock, and it was probably more like a locust, but it looked like a grasshopper, like this big, a giant one. So I was like, okay, right, if the small grasshoppers weren't going to get my attention, like all of these beautiful small grasshoppers, then we're going to send you a big grasshopper and land on your windscreen whilst you're driving, and you're going to have to pay attention. So I was like, okay, I got your message. I'm going to check what that message means, because of course I believe in these signs and synchronicities, and I couldn't ignore it. Basically, it was like a huge sign that the grasshopper was something that I needed to understand, or they were sending me a message to. So of course I searched the meaning of the grasshopper. It means that you are going to take a leap of faith wherever you are jumping to, which literally I was jumping to a new thing, and it would be successful. So that was my assurance that, okay, right. Thank you, spirit guides, for these messages, because it gave me peace of mind and it gave me the courage, and I became content with my decision, and it really helped me. The example is that you may see things like butterflies are very commonly connected with our spirit ones on the other side. A really beautiful story of when my best friend got married. Her mother is actually in spirit now, and during her wedding day, we were all outside, it was so beautiful, and she had a butterfly come and land on her dress, on her wedding dress. And it was just the most beautiful moment. We were all, surrounding her, and this butterfly didn't land and fly off. It was there for some time, and we were all taking photos, and it was just a really beautiful, beautiful moment, and we were completely blown away with love and happiness, and it was just such a special moment on your wedding day. So yeah, that was so beautiful. There have been times in my life where I've not physically seen them, but I've had animals showing up. For example, I had one stage in my life where I kept seeing dolphins everywhere, and not real ones, of course, but the signs and like the symbols of the dolphin kept showing up in my life. I'd see them on the big billboard. There were dolphins on the billboard. There were dolphins on my screens. So my screen changes into random photos, and I don't choose them. And this particular time, I had a dolphin on my screen, kept coming up every day. I actually went to have an ice cream, and I had a dolphin. I never knew that they did that. There was an actual dolphin in the shape like a chocolate or something on the top of the ice cream, which I had no idea was going to be there. And yeah, dolphins kept appearing. So of course I had to see why are these dolphins appearing in my life at this time. So this was another message from my guides to say that the dolphin represents freedom, it represents love, peace and harmony, and it was encouraging me to bring more of these things and joyfulness and more of these things into my life to help me. And so I paid attention because I kept seeing them every single day. I'd see a dolphin, one way or another, I would see one. So I really paid attention. And when you are open to receiving messages, then you're definitely gonna start to receive more, and they do give beautiful meanings to things that are happening in your life. And perhaps you have a particular animal that shows up for you in different stages of your life, or perhaps you have a spirit animal that's guiding you. We often do have animals that are guiding us in spirit. And please share with us if you have any beautiful experiences that you would like to share. We would absolutely love to hear about them. So moving on to the last way in which you may be contacted and communicated with by your spirit guides, talking about number 5 here, that is, they may whisper your name. I know, it's kind of freaky. So which is why this has never happened to me, because I think my guides know that I would just completely freak out and I wouldn't really be able to contain myself. So this has never personally happened to me, and I'm not speaking from experience here, but I do know that it does happen to people. I've heard people's experiences. I've heard about the way that they have been connected or contacted by their spirit team to, really pay attention and listen to what they have to say. And this has been by just gently whispering. You may wake up in the morning and you can hear your name being whispered. You may think you're hearing things. You may think you're imagining it. You perhaps dismiss it altogether and say it can't be anything. This is one way that your guides are reaching out and trying to communicate with you. Perhaps they have a special message for you. So I urge you not to dismiss it, and if it does ever happen to you, then ask and say, yes, I'm here, I'm present, I would love to hear what you have to say. And perhaps you just grab a pen and paper and you write it down, and it's always a good idea to journal these things and to really pay attention. You can follow the signs, you can receive the guidance that is coming from your spirit team. And yes, it's always beautiful to be guided by your team. They bring so much kind of wisdom and knowledge, and just to know that you're not alone, that's such a beautiful thing. We are never alone, and we are always being guided by our beautiful teams. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to send me a message or put them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I will be posting videos like this every single week for you. I have a wonderful selection of meditations that you can also do to help you on your spiritual journey, to help you feel more relaxed, to help you feel more connected. Because the truth is, when we are running to and from all of our daily activities and we don't create the space for messages to come to us, that really is a shame, because we're always receiving guidance. And so I urge you to create space every day in your life so that you can hear and listen to the whispers of your guides, and they are always gently nudging us in the right direction, putting random ideas in our head that we think are random. Our intuition is always guiding us, and we are always being guided by our spirit team. And they have very important things to tell us. And we should always pay attention and always listen. So if you have enjoyed this video today, then please hit that like button. Please do subscribe. I appreciate all of your wonderful comments and everything like that. I'm so grateful to have you here.